Everybody, welcome to the Uninformed Banker. My name's Gerald. Today I want to talk to you about the whole corporate vaccine mandate and a few other things. So we're going to get into the whole corporate vaccine mandate because I've seen so many stories, so many about employees getting pissed about it, about companies going, hey, you got to get vaccinated, which a couple of weeks ago, I don't know if I would have agreed because I never thought about it. But now that we have vaccines that are fully FDA approved, if your employer says you need to get vaccinated or you're not working here, well, they're not taking away your freedom because you can go find someplace else to work. It is a free world. You are allowed to stand up for yourself and go, no, if you're not going to let me work unvaccinated, I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm going to take my talents to South Beach, and they can go, all right, we'll see you. That's the free world. It doesn't mean that they have to allow you to work there unvaccinated when you could put their company at risk, because if you get COVID and then there's a COVID outbreak, they could be shut down for like 2 weeks. There's people out the door in a hiring crunch. Not having people because they're out with COVID during a hiring crunch is terrible for a company, even if they don't have to shut down. And if they have to shut down, that's even worse. That's revenue out the door. You got to pay for the cleaning, inspections. I don't know exactly what's involved, but I know that there's some cleaning that they have to pay for. And there's people out, and you could have people out for more than 2 weeks. If someone gets it serious, they could be out for months. And then, so get ugly. So they're just protecting themselves. On top of that, I guarantee insurers are going, hey, are all your people vaccinated? And if a company goes, well, they go, all right, we're skyrocketing your rates now, which makes sense because COVID treatment costs money. Insurance companies don't like to pay money, as everyone knows, and they're going to make sure you're vaccinated. It's simple math here, people. And people are getting all up in arms about this. You can't tell me to do this or that. Yes, an employer has a right to expect some reasonable things about you. Like Delta Airlines, they're charging people $200 a month, a non-vaccination surcharge. So if you're not vaccinated, you're getting charged $200 a month. Well, their insurance is going up because you're not vaccinated. They're also putting their business at risk by even keeping you, which I don't think they should have to do, but they're probably kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place because they're going, well, if we let them go, we can't hire and train people fast enough. So once this hiring crunch kind of goes away, all the people who are standing up going, I'm not going to get vaccinated, I'll just pay the surcharge. Well, number one, you're paying for something that you shouldn't have to. I mean, it's a free shot. Number two, they're going to go, well, we're not in a hiring crunch anymore, so goodbye. And there are some companies that are letting people go if they refuse to get vaccinated, which I agree with. They're protecting their company. They're protecting their revenue stream. It's not about your rights. You have your rights. Your rights are you have the choice to either get it and keep working there or not get it and go seek employment elsewhere. They're not infringing on your rights. And these vaccines have been FDA approved now. So there isn't really an argument for not getting it if your employer is asking you to. Like at Delta, they have a reasonable expectation that you're going to get it. And for you to argue going, I'm not going to get it because that infringes on my rights. Well, Delta can tell you other things that you don't go, that's infringing on my rights. Like pilots don't show up to work drunk and they go, look, you got to go home, you're drunk. And the pilot goes, you're infringing on my rights. No, you can't fly a plane drunk. Well, you shouldn't. And I'm pretty sure you can't land it. And if you can, that's kind of impressive, but it's still not good. There are things that your employer is allowed to say, hey, you can't do that. Like while you're working, while you're on the clock, you can't do that. And you can't come to work stoned, high, or drunk. You can't just rip off your shirt in the cockpit or something like that, And there have been a few cases where pilots have done some stuff like that and they've been fired because they're not allowed to do that. So your employer has a reasonable expectation of what they expect from you, and they are allowed to fire you for certain things. And putting their business in danger, like taking your shirt off in the cockpit, flying drunk, or showing up unvaccinated in the middle of a pandemic where the airline industry has been hit hard, is worried about the Delta variant because it keeps slowing down their recovery, and on top of that, they have fuel costs going up, and you're going to show up unvaccinated and possibly get an entire plane full of people, because those things just recycle air, possibly get an entire plane full of people infected with COVID because you're standing up for your rights. Dumb. I'm actually disappointed in a few other airlines that didn't follow Delta in the whole vaccine mandate or at least a surcharge, because, the almighty dollar, that'll make people go, like, look, you can have your right to not get vaccinated, but we're going to charge you because you're making our costs go up. For something that's a free shot, they're not asking you to go out and spend money on this shot. This is a free shot, and a lot of places are offering ridiculous things. Like I've said in previous episodes, episodes, the U.S. government has turned into a used car emporium. They're just giving them away, and they're throwing gimmicks on gimmicks on gimmicks. There's one state they're just giving you $100 to get you show up. You get your shot. They give you $100 in one of those like Visa debit cards. Yeah, prepaid. It's basically just a prepaid. You can use it anywhere debit card, and they give you $100 just to show up and get something that's free that saves your life and could save other people's lives, and they're paying you to get it. What has happened to the world? My goodness, people. Ugh. Well, in other news, some places are actually requiring, like there's some place in New York, no surprise there, that's asking you to show your vaccination card, which I don't know. That's kind of annoying, to be honest with you, because I don't carry mine, because all they did was give you a piece of paper and say, yeah, carry this with you. Like, really? A piece of paper? And you only gave me one? I'm going to lose this in like 3 days if I carry it with me. Why would I bring this anywhere? So I actually laminated mine. We'll see how long that lasts, because I didn't really do a good job. But anyways, so they want you to show that to get served there. Well, the fact that they're walking in, if they're unvaccinated, they could have already like infected people, because there are breakthrough infections. That's the word. And it doesn't matter. They're already in the building. Like, you've let them in the building. The fox is in the hen house. But I guess having them spend less time there, and I would be a little bit annoyed if they were like, look, you didn't bring your vaccination card, you can't come in. But I also don't want to have like an app that's tracking me, and I go, hey, yeah, no, I got vaccinated. Here's my app. And I don't want that, because that also infringes on your liberties. But at the end of the day, the stuff I'm hearing that they're doing to these shop owners, where they're like, just go, oh, I'm pissed, and then leave. Don't call back and threaten to kill the owner and the employees. Like, my God, people, have a little restraint. You can be angry, say, this is ridiculous, I'm leaving, I'm never coming back here. And I mean, I always thought that like tweeting about it and writing reviews online was a little bit overboard unless the service was atrocious. But I mean, even just do that. But don't call and threaten people. And the fact that people can do that and not have like a cop show up at their door and be like, hey, here's at least a fine or a misdemeanor or something. You're threatening someone with death. Why is that not an issue? I can't walk up to the postman and go, hey, I'm going to kill you. No, that's not okay. We are in a polite society. Act like it. And these are adults. The kids I'm finding out are actually getting kind of stuck in the whole COVID thing, like toddlers or like kids in their 3s or 4s. I don't know what age they get that they're able to like do this, but they're like telling people to wear masks, and they like smile when they get their temperature checked. Parents are kind of freaked out because they're like, look, this isn't going to be forever, and I don't want my kid to just start smiling when he gets his temperature read. It's weird. And they're telling everyone to like wash their hands, which I guess is good, because let's be honest, I don't know what you were doing earlier. And I think that's kind of funny. These kids were raised in COVID, and they've taken on these, they were raised in a year plus of, hey, wash your hands, stay away from people, wear a mask, get your temperature taken, stay inside, don't go outdoors, hoard toilet paper. They were raised in that era, and they're keeping those mannerisms, which I guess is good for Charmin Ultra, but I kind of wonder what they're going to be like when they grow up. They're going to be like, we're raising an entire generation of introverts, which we'll see what happens. I guess the world will be cleaner, which is not a bad thing. But yeah, no, the whole vaccine thing, now that they're approved, people just get your shots. Unless it's for religious reasons, obviously. And there are some people that I think it could affect them. I don't know. There was some medical thing. I'm not really sure. But all the people that are going, it's infringing on my rights. It's actually not, because they have the right to fire you, and you have the right to go work somewhere else. So that's not infringing on your rights. They're just saying, look, if you're going to work here, then you got to do this. It's like when I worked at Best Buy, they were like, look, you got to wear a uniform. I didn't like whip out the American flag and go, USA, you're infringing on my rights. No, I went, oh, I get it. Okay. And I took the free shirt and I wore it. That was it. It wasn't, your employer has these rights. It's to protect them, to protect their brand, and stop making a fuss about it. And all you people that are calling places that are requiring you to wear masks or to show a vaccination card, you could be angry about it. No one's taking that right away from you, but don't call and threaten people. Just go, I'm angry. And then, I don't know, go do some yoga, smoke a big bag of weed. I don't know. Do whatever is legal and okay in your state. And obviously this is not therapeutic advice. I'm not qualified for anything. So yeah. Anyways, that's all I had to say about that, everyone. Hope you had a good weekend, and thanks for listening. Bye.